Should we keep going? Yes. Yeah? Yes. Okay. So we'll have Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhu. We'll ask him to speak. And Bir Krishna Maharaj? So you want to speak now? Okay, please. Bir Krishna Maharaj will say a few words. Thank you.
So Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhuvyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So I offer my respects and humble obeisances to His Holiness, His Divine Grace, Srila Tamal Krishna Maharaj. So I guess I'll speak a little bit differently than perhaps some of the others have. And I'm also offering the respects from Bhakti Chur Maharaj, who couldn't come here because he had to chair the GBC meeting, and he regrets not being here with you all. So I'd like to describe my relationship with Tamal Krishna Maharaj because it involves two indirect rasas, one of chivalry and the other one of humor. Because for many years, I only got a chance to associate with Tamal Krishna Maharaj during the last 3 or 4 years. So I always heard about how he was so heavy. And, some of the devotees even coined the word hot tamale. Some of you have heard that word before. And so I was generally associated with another sannyasi when I was a brahmachari. His name was Srinanda Maharaj. And he was pretty heavy too. So I would threaten him that I'm going to join Srila Tamal Krishna Maharaj unless you behave yourself. And he said, "You think you have it bad." Just see. So I keep threatening him. So finally, we had this competition with Tamal Krishna Maharaj. I was situated in South America, in a country named Venezuela, and we challenged Tamal Krishna Maharaj's Radha Damodar party to a competition, a Sankirtan competition. And this was during the month of December. So what happened is that every day, or every other day, we were calling him up on the phone from Venezuela and telling him our scores. And he would tell us his scores, but he'd be pretty angry because we were generally doing more than he was. So back and forth, back and forth. This is a chivalrous relationship. It was also some joking or humor there in the relationship. So back and forth it was going. At the end of the month, we actually defeated Radha Damodar. Haribol. But he didn't say Haribol. I mean, because he had this really competitive spirit. And that was when Prabhupada said, Tamal Krishna Maharaj does not like to get defeated. And so, anyway, my relationship with him continued in the same way. I never really saw the heavy side of him. And in fact, whenever I would call him on the phone, it was in more of a joking mood. It was a very sweet, transcendental friendship, encouraging friendship. And I would call him up on the phone. Generally, I would ask, as he answered the phone, is this the Supreme Controller? And he would answer, yes, this is the Supreme Controller. Am I speaking to Controller number 2? So it was just a very wonderful, sweet relationship, and I miss him very dearly. Not only because of the joking relationship, but during the final few years, he asked me to go to the country of Fiji, which some of you may be from. I've seen some Fiji devotees here. And first time I went to Fiji, I was going there to help with some legal problem. There was one of his disciples who was taking him to court. What type of disciple is that? So all day long, I sat with this disciple for 1 week, trying to convince the disciple not to take him to court. And finally, I got Tamal Krishna Maharaj on the phone. I said, talk to him, tell him what to do. And then he told him, stop the court case. And then I said, are you going to stop it, to the disciple? And the disciple said, no, he didn't mean it. Many of us have experienced disciples like that. So anyway, so I continued to serve, and he was so pleased with my service in Fiji that he asked me to become the GBC of the Fiji Islands. And after that time, I was in regular communication with him, perhaps every few days, asking him for advice, what to do. And I saw that the devotees in the Fiji Islands were so well trained up. They actually were so obedient, such good cooks. In fact, I told him when I went there that they are the most or best cooks in the world. And the prasadam is very tasty. And he told me, wait till you taste the politics there too. And I thought, well, he's just joking. But after a while, I experienced his words are the absolute truth. I have never experienced politics like I did in Fiji, and I do in Fiji even right now. So anyway, so it continued, and see what else was there. It was just a very sweet relationship, always asking him for suggestions and advice. This is the last 3 or 4 years. And when he finally left this world, I just realized that I had lost someone, and the movement had lost someone who knew Prabhupada's Manobishtam. Just like we say about Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Srila Rupa Goswami is considered the head of all of us. We are considered Rupanugas because Srila Rupa Goswami knew the intention, the mind of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I feel in the same way that of all the disciples of Prabhupada, the one who knew the mind, intention, and vision of Srila Prabhupada was Srila Tamal Krishna Maharaj the most. So I just don't know what to do with someone, without someone to go to ask, what would Prabhupada want? What should we do in this circumstance? And it's very difficult for me to be without that particular person who I trust implicitly. Implicit trust is not something easy to gain. Implicit trust means 100% trust. And I have to say, amongst all my God brothers, he is the one who I trusted and continue to trust implicitly. Thank you very much. Srila Tamal Krishna Maharaj Ki Jai.